Fallout 4 is a massive world with plenty of locations to explore in the post-apocalyptic Commonwealth. Even with plenty of time on your hands, there are still a ton of locations that you can miss. I'm Will from GameRant, and today we're talking about 10 hidden locations in Fallout 4 you didn't know existed. Number 10. Dunnage Borers. This location isn't necessarily a secret, as it can be marked on your map, but the scope of this location is more than meets the eye. The Dunnage Borers has more and more secret pathways to discover and explore as the player delves deeper. They're met with plenty of foes and perils, but ultimately find the remains of a cult, which only leaves more questions. Number 9. Cranberry Island Shed. Not an overly exciting pick, but the Cranberry Island Shed is certainly a must for players looking for crafting supplies. The small shed near Far Harbor is filled to the brim with vital supplies, so the trip here is definitely worth it. To find the key to said shed, the player must follow the clues throughout the quest, the hunt for loot, before making their way there. If this location is of interest to you, be sure to keep a lookout for the Mirelurks that spawn nearby. Number 8. Carhenge. Like the name suggests, Carhenge is a version of Stonehenge, but made out of rusted cars. What's interesting about this structure is that it's hard to tell whether or not it was built pre-war. You can find this monument near Walden Pond with a super mutant behemoth living in it. Definitely a tough fight, but one that at least comes with a cool view. Number 7. Parking Garage Dungeon. This dungeon is located near the Milton General Hospital and known in-game as the Milton Parking Garage. Inside, players can find a complex labyrinth of traps and bodies rigged with explosives. If the player feels brave enough, they can find their way through this maze before being presented with some valuable loot. However, the player must choose wisely, as they can only choose one piece of loot before everything else is completely destroyed. Number 6. The Rocket Shack. When traveling near Relay Tower 0BB-915, the player can discover a mysterious shack filled with explosive tanks. Set up in this shack are 3 launchers aimed out into the wilderness. It's unclear what exactly the intention of these launchers are, but regardless, it makes for a nice distraction from running around doing quests. Number 5. Crashed UFO. Right by the ruins of Somerville is a crashed UFO with a trail of green blood leading into a nearby cave. Upon investigating the cave, the player will find a hostile and wounded alien who attacks them. If the player manages to kill this alien, they can loot the alien blaster from them, which is an extremely powerful energy pistol with the rarest ammo in the game. Number 4. Cat Cabin. Also right by Walden Pond is a cabin filled top to bottom with cats and pictures of cats. Very clearly the former home of a cat lady who is no longer here, the cabin houses these furry felines and serves as a dream experience for cat lovers everywhere. Besides that, there isn't any other incentive to come here, but maybe it's worth a visit to see a whole lot of cats. Number 3. Jaws Boat. The iconic summer blockbuster Jaws takes place in Massachusetts, so it would only make sense that the developers make a nod to it in-game. The boat known as the FV Orca can be found in the bay west of Salem and houses a skeleton and the body of a large sea creature. This reference is cool on its own, but the sea creature was actually supposed to be part of an underwater segment that was cut from the game. But it's nice to see the developers could fit it in here. Number 2. Treasure of Jamaica Plain. This location is either incredibly underwhelming or incredibly exciting depending on the player's build. Within the town of Jamaica Plain is the town hall, the basement of which many adventurers have died trying to reach the treasure inside. If the player ventures through the basement past traps and feral ghouls, they will find a museum of pre-war relics. None of these are of any real value except for the 2076 World Series baseball bat, which, if you're a melee build, is a fantastic find. Number 1. Ugqualts Cavern. This location is a love letter to the mythos created by H.P. Lovecraft. The building it's found under, the Dunnage Borer, is actually a reference to Lovecraft's story, The Dunnage Horror, and offers a plot similar to many of his stories. The player will find an altar used to commit sacrifices to a cosmic entity, with the blade used to commit these sacrifices, Kremp's Tooth. This blade is considered one of the best in the game, so melee builds should definitely look into visiting this location. That was our list of 10 hidden locations in Fallout 4 you didn't know existed. For more games and articles like this, remember to drop by GameRant.com. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.